Biononos one and all. Welcome to episode 6 of Clear Skies Perseverance. I am your game master, Eliza Pearl, and with me today are my wonderful, fantabulous cast. Again, I don't have many announcements today. I will just give a shout out to our sponsors, Modiphius. Go check them out. They have wonderful, wonderful Star Trek adventures, books, and PDFs and other digital resources, and also hard copies that you can have shipped to your home directly. So check out modiphius.net. In the UK, in the US, and other parts of the world, you can get their products to run your very own Star Trek Adventures campaign. I also will shout out Yuri's Night, which happened last night. Bonnie was there. Bonnie, how was it?
It was amazing. Was that last night? No.
That was last night.
Two nights ago.
2 nights ago.
I was like, oh my God.
so sure.
Does time have no meaning anymore? Which is true because I'm so confused. It was Saturday night. It was fantastic. It was so incredible to see all the different astronauts and just everyone coming together in the name of science and space exploration and getting, drinks with random Star Trek folk. That was fun too.
Drop names. You deserve it. Drop names. You were hanging out with Doug Jones. You were hanging out with...
I was just sitting. Guess I was talking D&D with Gates McFadden. That was fun. She's like, I want to play, and I'm like, oh, we'll play. Yeah, I was like, I will make it happen.
That doesn't surprise me. The stories I've heard about Gates McFadden.
She's never played, and she sees everyone playing it, and she's like, what is going on?
Oh my God.
No, it was super fun. Just. You just don't even think about, I still have that big imposter syndrome where I'm just kind of standing there, having like a gin and tonic going like, what am I doing here?
One of us.
But it's been a blast. And it was just really neat. The presentations are really fun. It was like going to a science fair to the max. Like, and they had, it was underneath the Endeavour shuttle. So, I mean, it was pretty
amazing.
Wild. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So you completed the reconnaissance at the Endeavour.
I did.
How much paint is it going to require to paint
that thing blue? We can't talk about it online.
We can't talk. Oh, sorry.
More later.
A little Callisto 6 reference for those of you in the know. Well, thank you, Bonnie. Thank you for reporting.
I will say this.
Yes.
This was really special. All the special guests had a handler, to like, we could send on errands, like to grab drinks for us or like reserve seat, to make sure that we were like taken care of. And my handler, shout out to Sean, they were incredible. And they said that they requested me because Shield of Tomorrow was their gateway into Star Trek. And they discovered Star Trek because of Shield of Tomorrow, and also discovered their identity by watching Sam and seeing Sam be so true to themselves as well. So it was really wonderful that it was just cool to see like what we do going out into the real world. I was just like, they were just like, thank you so much for Shield of Tomorrow and for getting me to Star Trek. And I was like, that's amazing. So that made my night. So shout out to Sean if they're watching.
That is so sweet. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And Sam is emotionally compromised.
We lost Sam.
That is incredible.
It was really special. Yeah. So I don't know. It was really cool to hear and see.
I love it. Mm-hmm. Oh, welcome. We have a Danielle. We're just doing announcements.
Oh, hi. Hello.
Hi. Thank you for reporting back from Yuri's Night, Bonnie.
You're welcome. I was sent as a spy. Don't tell the others.
Our intelligence officer was sent over. I also am passing along some links for Mike to put in the chat, or to have someone put in the chat. Those are our Shackleton Expanse links. If you would like to order anything from Modiphius, use those links, get the Shackleton Expanse, or if you get other things, just use that link because it goes... Wait, I think that was the wrong link I sent.
Supports the Streampunks.
Yeah, it's supposed to be our Streampunks link. I don't think that's the link I just gave you. If anyone can dig that link up, please do. I'm going to move on in the announcements and then try to find that link after. We gave our Yuri's Night shout out. The Space Coast Party is April 15th. If you are in that area near Kennedy Space Center or in Florida in general and want to drive over to it, there's another Yuri's Night party happening on April 15th, which is coming up soon, and you can get tickets at yurisnight.net. So go do that. Also, go check out yurisnight.net/events for any virtual events or events in your part of the world if you're not in either California or Florida. Also, Explore Mars. Shout out to our nonprofit partner, Explore Mars. They are, I believe, they're still running our special discount code for tickets to their Humans to Mars Summit taking place May 16th through 18th in Washington, D.C. So if you would like to attend that conference, it's all about Mars and space exploration and sending humans to Mars specifically. Use our discount code ClearSkiesMars, all caps, no spaces, and register at, and now I will drop these two things in the chat, register at exploremars.org/summit. Woo, and there you go. And I think, let me see, that's all the official announcements I have. Cast, do y'all have any announcements?
Can I just say one thing? Because if I don't say this, I'm going to die inside. Mm-hmm. Get your ass to Mars. Okay, that's it.
We haven't had a single Total Recall joke this
I have been biting my tongue.
You heard the lady. Get your ass to Mars.
Get your ass to Mars.
Go
Wait,
to
I
that
thought we
Mars
had
summit.
because I didn't know that was from Total. Remember?
You're the worst.
We have made a Total Recall joke before, but because I also don't know the reference, I don't know if it was the same one or something else. We talked about Total Recall before. I just don't know if this particular one.
Okay.
Can't confirm
you.
Sam.
Cast homework. Watch Total Recall, the original, not the new one. I never watched the new one. It looks too different. I'm one of those with Total Recall. The first one is so like, come on.
I'm a Van Hoven baby. Like
Come on,
that's
right. Like,
I'm gonna lose nerd cred. I've only seen the remake.
okay, well, watch the original. It's okay. Just correct your mistakes.
Yeah.
And watch the original. Any other announcements?
I have one. Yeah. Latest episode of Dungeons and Dragons just dropped. We talk about just making sure that you protect yourself when you're at conventions. There was a major convention and things got ugly. So we just want to make sure that if you are going to a con, you protect yourself, you protect your drinks, and you know when's a good time to get out of there. That's it.
Thank you for that. That's super important information as we're heading into summer and con season. So yeah, definitely check that out. Any other announcements? I see two. Caitlin?
Yeah, I was on a morning ritual this weekend with Noah and Anita. It was such a blast. I think we talked for like 4 hours. Four hours?
4 hours in I think 30 something minutes.
Obscene. Kind of, it was ridiculous. It was so much fun, and the VOD's available, and it was very, very fun. I found out on the stream that was episode 99. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so exciting. So that's fun. So you should go watch episode 99. We talked about boxing and punching stuff, and so that could be good also to take care of yourself at a con. No, we talked a lot about punching Nazis. You never know who you're going to run into. I produce and edit a podcast called Thin Places Radio. It's just a 10 minutes or less kind of haunted paranormal radio, kind of if Dear Abby was a haunted radio show. You should check it out 'cause I
Award-winning.
love it a lot. Oh, award-winning podcast, Thin Places Radio. Thank you very much, Sam. That's all I got.
Amazing. I also am going to do a little co-announcement with Caitlin because, as we said last week, I did this interactive fiction visual novel with an app called web app called Storyloom, and I commissioned Caitlin to make some custom art, and it's really fabulous. So go check out. It's called my story. It's called Welcome to the Blood Bar. You can sign up for Storyloom for free with just your Google account, like one of those Google signups, and you can read all these different interactive fiction stories with beautiful art. Mine is called Welcome to the Blood Bar. So definitely check that out and read through it and let me know what you think. Bonnie.
Yes. Speaking of podcasts, I was just on the Shuttle Pod show. It aired on Sunday. I think you can find it up on YouTube. They have the longer version of the episode on their Patreon. But I mean, the YouTube one's pretty long too, because you know me, I can talk, so I go on for hours. But no, it was a lot of fun. It was with Dominic and Connor from Enterprise, and they're a hoot. So we got into a lot of trouble. And there's a lot of talk about what.
Wait, are you talking about Connor Trenier from Enterprise?
Yeah.
He does that podcast?
Uh-huh.
Did you remind him that you got on stage at STLV and
We did.
Okay,
we
great.
Did. We reminded him that we got up and they were like, "What?"
That was you. I have that video, so if you ever want me to send it to them.
We talked about Shield of Tomorrow. We talked about tabletop RPG. They have no idea what any tabletop things are. It was really funny. Like we talked about Geek and Sundry, Critical Role. I tried to explain to them
R.I.P.
other nerd things, and they were just like, "What?" So it was probably one of their nerdiest episodes they've ever had. So you're welcome,
Excellent.
boys.
Thank you, Bonnie.
You're welcome.
We are
So
record.
it was a lot of Streampunks and Chill Tomorrow love in the chat. I was watching it live and people in chat and YouTube giving a shout out. So that was really sweet.
That's
and
lovely.
then also the D20 cruise coming up, which Eliza will also be on. And then Amazing Las Vegas Comic Con at the end of April. If anyone's in Vegas, come find me. And Gays in Space in Philadelphia, May 6th, 5th, 6th, 7th, I think. I'll be flying to Philly and playing with all the gays. Let's go. Let's go!
Wait, all of us?
Yes, it's gonna be so much fun.
Yes.
All the ones that are in space, which yes, is
Oh, all the ones in
here,
space.
basically.
Yes.
It's a really wonderful nonprofit, and they do some amazing things. They have an amazing lineup of guests, awesome panels, and the head of the organization, Dan, is getting married to his partner at the event. So it's gonna be a blast.
Somebody's getting married.
Yep.
Amazing. Any other announcements?
Oh, and my album just dropped. Everyone go check it out.
Oh my goodness. Yes, that's a big one.
My album is out. Go listen to it. It's on Spotify and iTunes and Bandcamp and Amazon.
It's very good. It's very, very
It's
good.
everywhere. And there's a Star Trek medley. Okay, now go away. Now stop.
Okay, fine.
The voice of God is speaking to us, and Eric's response is, okay, fine.
Excuse me. What does God need with a link?
I've told you.
So yeah, I'm looking for those links. I don't think I'm gonna be able to find them. They're buried somewhere in everything. So apologies for that. I'll have that for next week for the Modiphius links. But in the meantime, are there any more announcements? Sam?
Hi. Yes. Hello. Greetings from science.
Greetings.
Science cannot recommend that you smooch the Tyrannosaur. Please do not. Details available on my YouTube, youtube.com/@Delevely, DELEVELY. But also, that science drops fresh 8 a.m. Pacific every Tuesday morning. And y'all, tomorrow is what? Like, if you are a messy lich who lives for drama, or unlives, I suppose, as that case might be, I cannot tell you enough. This science, it went places. It started spicy, and then it went... It sure is something. So you can catch that live Tuesday morning. It's on my Twitch VODs. It goes up for coffee supporters on my coffee, also at Lovely, on Wednesdays. And it hits YouTube's every Friday morning. So there's lots of places to get this story. But, like, get it, though. It's wild. But until such time.
Question.
Yes.
Before the last part of your announcement, which I presume is coming,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
if I can presume,
Please.
when is our next Discord game?
Our Discord games are last Tuesday of the month. This is because sometimes months have 5 Tuesdays, and this is distressing for all concerned, and so for clarity's sake, it is simply last Tuesday. It's the last thing you'll ever see on Tuesday. I mean, depending on your time zone, though.
All right. So,
And
yes, if you'd like to watch our Discord games, which right now are being run by Noir and in a Star Trek Adventures campaign,
So good.
sign up for our coffee if you haven't already at Streampunks Coffee. And if you have the tier 10 or above, you can not only join our Discord, but you can also watch our Discord specific exclusive games. So, Sam, anything else you'd like to announce?
Nara's doing some incredibly cool, ambitious storytelling stuff with those games. So, like, really, you do want to catch them if you like Star Trek stuff, which, I don't know, you're here. So, please
Good
do.
chance.
And
Good
I'm
I
here,
thought I
and
was muted.
No, we all get to partake and enjoy, and for that, as in for so many things, I'm excited.
All right. Well, it's about that time. Mike, let's build.
My big teeth, my little arms, my big teeth, my little. Oh, we're talking about smooching a dinosaur, which apparently I'm not allowed to do. Thanks, Sam.
I mean,
I don't believe in that rule.
I spoil all the funs.
I don't believe
everybody
in no smooch
smooches
scenario.
dinosaurs.
We really spun out on a tangent during the opening credits, if you can't tell.
Feeling a little silly goofy today. We're ready. We're excited to be back.
But yes, we are back, and this is episode 6 of Clear Skies Perseverance, and thus I will give a short, yet detailed recap of episode 5. So, last week, with all of our party members reconvening in salvage during the worst moments of a meteor shower raining down debris on the Utopia Planitia shipyard's protective dome, the crew worked together to release Lieutenant Tova Kaz, our salvage officer, from within the protective grips of the silicon-based alien structural entity known as Entitina. Using Vivi's ESP connection with Entitina and a jazz-like coordinated boopity-bop-bop transporter effort from Commander Veluth and Dr. Rylam Rion, Lieutenant Kaz is transported out of Entitina's grasp. Commander Veluth then orders a quarantine of the salvage area and assigns our intelligence officer Ensign Keela to accompany Vivi to keep an eye on her for the next foreseeable future, and to observe whether there are any continued effects of Vivi's ESP connection with this entity. Rylam and Veluth then have a heart-to-heart about the burdens of command. Later, they also talk more about Rion's ideas for reimagining and repurposing the double warp core of the Ross-class ship. He wants to use it as a tugboat. Veluth agrees to this proposal and reassigns Rion to oversee the González Sanabria ship build, but to focus his time on developing the tugboat tractor beam theory. Rion requests additional personnel for this new assignment. One lieutenant, well, not lieutenant anymore, one Balana Torres, former chief engineer of the USS Voyager. Meanwhile, Lieutenant Tyro does a neuroscan back in the biomedical bay, aka Bio-No-Nos. The scan reveals no neurological changes to Lieutenant Kaz, but there is a change in Vivi's neurological activity. A part of her brain that was previously inactive is now glowing, simmering with activity. Ensign Keela also conducts an ad hoc scientific experiment threatening Vivi with physical danger in order to confirm that, yes, Entitina does seem to activate whenever they sense possible danger. Vivi, meanwhile, has been working with the entity, with some help from some of the crew members, to build a language, a vocabulary to be able to communicate with Entitina. Some of the words are, and gestures are hold, hug, release, scritch, settle. We also found out in that episode that there were some intricacies of the connections and feelings between our two trills. maybe in one direction so far that we know of. Lieutenant Ty and Lieutenant Kaz. And we also learned that Commander Valuth also has a previous history with Lieutenant Kaz. So, as Ty said, Valuth knew Tova. Ty knew Kaz. But Ty had a different name, so Kaz doesn't know. And that's where we begin this episode. Now, where we
Am I
left
still
off last
babysitting?
time, well, I will let you and Danielle discuss briefly whether you would have stayed in her quarters with her.
I think I would just put up security measures and leave her to her privacy, but like put up, keep like a, well, you like one of those little buttons that you can press with the help, I've fallen and I can't get up,
Life
things
alert.
like nearby. So
Space life alert.
yes, space life alert. I would set that up, and it would be,
Okay.
have a direct link to me, so I would be there lickety split. But did you
Absolutely.
press it is the question.
Okay, so yeah, this is great to establish before we restart the scene because, Vivi, yes, you just had this dream where you experienced these blobs of people. You feel that they're people. They have some type of consciousness that's connecting with you, and there's thousands of them. We described it as you being a very tall, like Gandalf in a valley of hobbits. And these people, these blobby people, are kind of pressing against you. Hold up to your neck. Now, I think I'm going to have you do a simple roll. You already failed a roll to control them, but now we want to see if you can wake yourself up in this moment.
Okay. So yeah, totally covered with the drippy Lilliputians. One.
All right, so you ready to do this roll?
Mm-hmm. Oh no, I just rolled
All
a
right.
one. Oh, they can't see.
Oh, I didn't even give you what you
Oh,
rolled.
sorry. I just get really excited. I just love dice.
I know, right? Okay, so hold that one because this was going to be difficulty 2, and it's going to be presence command. Actually, no, sorry, control command.
Ooh, okay.
And yeah, difficulty 2. You've already rolled a 1. Go ahead and roll your second die, though.
Come on, baby. Come on, baby. You're kidding me. It's another one. I'm not even joking.
Oh,
I
okay.
can't, you can't see the thing. It is another one.
We believe you. I believe you. I don't know about everybody else. Like, just kidding. We believe you.
That's fair.
So bank those 2 momentum. You all, whatever momentum you were at last time, you just had one scene with the dream. So minus that. And then we're in the same scene right now. So just add 2 momentum to your total. If that made any sense. I don't think it did. I think y'all are smart enough to figure it out, though. So you successfully shake yourself out of this dream, realizing, oh my God, Entitina just might have done something in the real world. What do you do?
So the first thing that Vivi does as Vivi kind of wakes up, like in shock, it almost feels like so far Vivi has been having all of these fantastic endorphins, which are cut with this extreme distress from Entitina that she's been feeling. But at this moment, she has realized that this, while it's been fun, because she's been feeling a little bit like it's, Bonnaroo all the time, and now she's starting to really understand how this is affecting the ship and how this could be affecting other people. And while she is not a military personnel, when you do, when you're working with Starfleet, you're a Starfleet babe. So the first thing that she starts thinking is, what would a smart person do? Because Vivi is very smart and she's been dedicated. She went to school, she studied. She's a little like silly out there because she's an artist, but she is smart. So she's like, all right, smart Vivi. Okay, and then Vivi reaches out with her ESP to reach out to Entitina with the vibe and love, since their communication is nonverbal, of the way that you feel when a friend asks you if you want to grab a coffee and check in.
So this is different from any of the other gestures
Yes,
you've
this is a new
established.
gesture.
All right. New
I got
gesture.
momentum, baby. I ain't wasting it.
Okay. So you're trying to establish a new gesture, and also use it, like reach out to her using this new gesture
Yes.
of a check-in. What do you want to call this gesture, and what's a movement associated with it?
I think maybe we can call this tea time.
Tea time.
Tea
Cool.
time.
What's the gesture?
And so the gesture might be something like, when you extend your arm out, inviting someone to take a seat next to you.
Tea time?
Tea time?
Okay, great. Okay. All right, so go ahead and roll. Now, I previously...
Roll for tea. I wanted to say it.
Roll for spilling the tea.
I previously said it is less hard for you to establish these new vocab words. I am going to up the difficulty on this one just because of the situation at hand, but not by much. It's going to be difficulty 2, up from 1.
Okay.
And it's going to be your presence command.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Difficulty 2.
8.
Okay. So that's 1.
And 20. Can't roll ones forever, babies.
Wait. Do you have a talent that makes you do things, that makes you re-roll things?
I
This
do.
would be
Hold on.
social conflict because you are trying to command Entitina. So let's see. Do
I
any
got
of your
you, girl. Don't you do it. Don't you complicate.
Let's see.
No risk for Lisa.
Bonnie will not let me Avril Lavigne this. All right.
It's instant Keela. Like, no, this is your safe alert.
Oh, you know what?
Oh,
Your life alert.
Actually, I don't know if you're okay. Let's hear. You would have had to spend 2 momentum to use your infectious nature, but here's the thing. I will say this: since you are in your quarters,
Are you gonna give me what I want?
yep,
Yep.
it is a lavish environment.
Above the clouds, baby.
So your talent above the clouds will apply right now. While engaged in social conflict in a lavish environment or one of excess, you reduce the difficulty of any persuade tasks by 1 to a minimum of 1. So yeah, this is now reduced to 1, and you got that 1. But I still get a threat.
Yeah, you do. I'll take that.
Okay, so you reach out with your mind. Tea time? And Titina suddenly mentally turns back towards you, and you can feel them stop, pause, hovering, noticing you again.
It's into tea time. I'm just
so
gonna
much.
mute myself.
You're the best thing that ever happened to me. Is it possible? I don't want to gild the lily, but is it possible to, while I've got this connection with Entitina, because I don't know how well culturally tea translates. It obviously translates for us, where I would be able to see what Entitina's culture's version of, hey, let's like have some tea and catch up would be.
Yeah, I'll give you this. You check in with Entitina, seeing how they or she, whatever, however you apply to this.
I'll wait until they tell me.
Yeah, cool. Seeing how they connect with that command you just gave at the tea time. And you go back to that dream. That dream seemed to be your subconscious laying on a filter to understand Entitina's world. But that filter still is pretty sparse. There's not much there. It was just that valley with grassy hills, and thousands of these blobby entities that make up Entitina. There's nothing else there. There are no tables or chairs. There's no windows. There's no buildings with roofs and walls. They just exist in this valley together. There is nothing that relates to tea for them. They just feel what you put towards that term. That's all they really understand, is that you are checking in.
Okay, perfect. Great. So Vivi, yeah, continues to check in and now is trying to, along with the feelings of, hey, I'm checking in, project a feeling of, trying to project a feeling of safeness without, because Vivi is afraid that if she starts projecting the valley, it's going to take Entitina somewhere real dark. And she wants Entitina to kind of like get there on their own. And so just trying to, again, just comfort and just like, yo, it's been a day. You want to talk about it?
Yeah. Do you want to use any of your previous commands that you've created?
So I've already done tea. We did, I'll do an offer of hug.
Okay. Yeah. So you offer up hug, like soft hug, and they receive it. And so elsewhere on the surface in the hab, Commander Valuth, you get a priority 1 alert that wakes you from your sleep or from, I don't know. Oh yeah, I always confuse Vulcans and elves. Vulcans do sleep. Literally. I was like, oh wait, Vulcans don't sleep. Yeah, they
It's the
do. That's
same
elves.
picture.
That's D&D. Valuth, are you sleeping?
Wait.
Yeah,
Oh,
Valuth
no.
is definitely sleeping after that last conversation. It took attacks on him, so he's out.
Okay, so you are woken up by this message, and you recognize that specific doo-doo-doot, doo-doo-doot, very urgent triple trill of, pun intended, I guess, triple trill of the alert. That is priority 1.
Commander Valuth.
Commander, it's station keeping. We're getting reports that the that iridescent entity is well, it's stopped now, but just moments ago it was heading towards the surface. It also has completely covered 2 of the structures, 2 of the orbital structures, including all of the Bovel ship. Do you want us to do anything in particular?
Hold, I'll be there in a moment.
Yes, sir. And they close the channel.
It had to be this. And I'm going to calm Ty.
Okay. Ty, you get a chirp.
Go for it, Ty.
I apologize for waking you, but we have an issue that I feel we'll need your expertise for.
What's going on?
The entity that the crew has
I'm on my way.
named. All right. And gonna head there.
Okay, where are you heading exactly?
I am heading towards the quarantined area.
Okay. All right. Anyone else get alerted by Valuth or Ty or Vivi?
Getting that?
Oh, he would definitely hit up security as well.
Okay.
I
All right,
was
so-
I was in a book club meeting. I'm awake. I'll head down.
Okay. So the 4 of you head down to salvage. Actually, Vivi, did we establish where you are? Are you going there as well?
I was originally in my room, but me and Entertina, we could easily talk and have our feelings hashing out while we walk and talk. Walk and gesture. Look, West Wing did not give me terminology for this.
Walk and
but,
vibe.
Walk and vibe. Thank
If
you.
it's anything to do with the entity, I would request Vivi to be present because
Yeah.
also I'm supposed to be watching her. If anything is
Yeah.
happening with the entity, if they're still linked together, I want to gotta keep close eyes.
Okay. So it sounds like Keela, you actually would probably go over to Vivi.
Yes, I would go
First, and
directly
then-
to her quarters first and request her presence.
Okay.
As
So
I escort her personally to salvage.
Vivi, ding ding, you hear an alert at your quarters.
Who is it?
Your keeper, it's Ensign Keela. We just need you down at salvage. Commander Valoof got an alert. I'm not quite sure exactly what it is, but it has something to do with our entity friend, and I believe just having you present would be beneficial.
Oh, cool, because they real cranky. And that's when Vivi's really in a don't spook Entitina out because Entitina had done been through it mood. And so Vivi sends out another kind of wave of, hey, we're going to go hang out with our friends. They're going to see what's wrong and they're going to take care of you. Like that kind of hug feeling. As Vivi gets up and I walk over then to Ensign Keela. Keela, so as much as, I love your penchant for loudness and jewelry, but at this moment, we need a little more of a softer hand because Entitina's kind of going through it. So if we can just be a little, walk softer and carry a soft stick. Isn't that what they say on Earth? I don't know, man.
Nothing about me is really soft, but I'll do my best. I can, I don't know, be more chill, as you say.
Yes, be more chill. Embrace the off-white, and remember that always think of this the way that you think of acquiring anything cool that you might want to acquire. We want to acquire right now the safety of everyone on in the space station. And so
that is a top priority, yes.
So in order for us to make sure that everyone in Utopia Planitia is safe, you must embrace the vibes.
Okay.
All right.
I mean, I'm all for the
Vibes.
peaceful vibes. I mean, rule of acquisition number 35. Peace is good for business. Shall we?
Here we go. All right. We're good.
Okay. Ha.
That is so close. You're doing so good.
Thank you. Keela, cannot wait for this job to be over. this keeper job. As delightful as Vivi is, Keela's like, why? Valoof!
Speaking of, you two enter salvage and you see Ty and Valuth have already arrived there. As long as the commanders, Roberts and Keith. Valuth, you see, actually, you all see now that you're in salvage, you see that the force field that is around that slice of the Bovel where the sample of Entitina is entwined in, Entitina has been now seeming to kind of push out onto that force field as if trying to just hold more things. That's the status of Entitina in this space right now.
Okay. Oh boy. When I see Keela and V come in, I'm just gonna give Keela a nod. It was a wise decision to bring V.
Well, I figured anything pertaining to our new friend here, V's the only link we have. The only link to them.
V, have you felt anything recently? Might you be able to decipher the meaning of this entity's current actions?
Yeah, related. Did you feel anything related to Entitina, not like gas?
Yes.
Well, yes, I did feel the second one, but the first one with Entitina. Have you ever been to Earth where they have people who interpret your dreams? Okay, so I was having this gnarly dream and I was in this field, right? And there were these little flibberty gibbet dudes. I'm sorry, Entitina, I don't mean to be insulting, but they were very cute and they were all over me. And then it felt like they were in danger and Entitina got really oh my God, no, my people, and got really sad. So Entitina is really sad, and I think that she likes all of us. I think they like all of us because what they do it seems threatening, but it is actually gestures of perfect love and protection. Which is like wild because we just met, but it's like this boy I met on Saturn. It's fine.
So currently, according to what you're saying, the entity is working to protect something. Or Ty, might you be able to see if there are any microscopic organisms that the entity is currently interacting with?
Huh. That's an interesting question. Master of Games, where is Entitina in relationship to the existence of atmosphere? Is any somewhere that would sustain microbial life in the first place? Good first question.
Well, inside here, yes, there is atmosphere. In orbit, no, there is not.
They don't have people on there with running life support on maybe the inside or anything like that could suffuse the environment with some degree of...
The ship itself is
The ship
like
is not
cut open in space.
right. The ship is not really powered on, so actually no.
Okay.
But I will say, so the answer to your question is yes and no. There are parts where Entitina is enveloping places that have atmosphere, and there are parts that are in the vacuum of space.
And one of the parts in atmosphere is near where Kaz was. Yes?
Inside this force field, yes.
We were planet side when Kaz got lifted. There is like
I recall so vividly.
orbital. So like there's Atmo down here.
Right. But it is to say that it's possible that we could have a microbial environment, possible transfer, indeed even from Kaz, whose scans in virtually every respect we have on file that we might be able to do some find by looking for Kaz signs. You stop with that face. I can feel it. Anyway, so yes, I would like to make a scan of the local area, then at the borders of any observable or detectable edges of Entitina, to see what happens where microbes do interact with their cell surface, for want of a better word.
Okay. Go ahead and roll your reason science.
What is the difficulty?
Difficulty will be 2. You are if you are using a computer or a tricorder, go ahead and do that, and we'll reduce the difficulty by 1.
Excellent. Though it will stick at 1 for various reasons, because I got talents. See, Mom? Okay, and that gives me a bonus. Cool. Rolling dice. I see a 5, I see a 10, and I see a 14. Yeah, I think that's 3.
That is. So bank that those 2 momentum.
Cool.
Yeah. So you do a scan of Entitina in this area. Is that right?
Yeah,
Within the
where
force
there
field?
would be microbes in order to observe the interaction thereof.
Okay. From your scan, you're able to pull up results on what microbes exist where Entitina is in this force field. And you also do a scan outside of the force field to compare, to see if there's a difference. You're actually seeing that inside the force field, there's a similar makeup of pretty general type of microbes that would normally exist in atmosphere that are harmless for the most part. That maybe there's a couple that could cause illness, but there's so few of them, they're probably not gonna. Yeah, they're probably not gonna cause problems because there's so few of them, and yeah. So yeah, that's the general makeup of the microbial presence in this room and within the force field. Inside the force field, there's slightly less.
Interesting. For my science officer bonus momentum info question, as it's called, as I observe on scans, do I note any permeability? Can microbes get from one side to the other, for instance? I suspect there's some air permeability, or Kaz would have been even more unhappy, even faster, maybe, I don't know. But beyond, like, inorganic, like, gas permeability, can microbes travel freely to either side of the membrane, for instance?
Yeah, you would probably have to, yeah, with that spend of the momentum, your special momentum spend, you hold the scan open for a few minutes to observe, to see if that happens. And yes, there is a permeability, and both air and microbes seem to be able to get through Entitina's membrane.
All right. I suppose our entity commander is fenestrated, in a sense.
Any suggestions or thoughts?
Let's see. This seems as relevant interpersonally, albeit unusually so, than medically. I don't see any signs of distress, any immune or immunoanalog activation. This seems like a people problem, sir.
All of this is way above my skill set.
If only we had a counselor on call, perhaps that would work. That was another attempt at humor.
Commander
right.
Roberts says, when you say about counselor, she says, well, with all due respect, Commander Valuth, we do have this, the director of cabin design right here who's been able to talk to this thing in some way. That's the closest thing we have to a counselor, in my opinion. Why aren't we using her more?
Because I'm not a counselor. I'm just really good on shroom trips.
Well, if you're all we've got standing between us and this thing taking over our surface facilities, then I think we need to use you as a counselor.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just a salvage manager, so I don't know. I could be wrong.
Thank you for believing in me, Roberts.
Logically, your suggestion is sound. However, V is not trained for what he is doing now, and it's best to proceed with caution as to avoid any misunderstandings between us and the entity.
Well, the entity does seem to know who all of us are. And the entity has expanded in order to make sure that we're all protected. So maybe this is less professional counselor / therapy talk. And maybe this has to be more, hey, boo. Maybe this has to be more on a friend. Because I will say, at this point, Entitina, and I don't want any of you to freak out. Promise me you won't freak out.
I promise I won't freak out.
Yeah, I'm looking at you especially right now. I think that me and Entitina, aside from simply finding me and using me to communicate through and to understand the world, I think that we have really gotten a bond. And I feel like we really understand each other.
Why would I freak out about this?
Oh, because when entities that we don't understand bond to people, sometimes it's like, murder. But this is not a murdery one. This is actually...
Wait, do you mean by bonding and murder, do you mean like Entitina is trying to use you as like an instrument or tool, but like in a physical sense? Like if Entitina was stabby, you'd be stabby?
Entitina's not stabby.
I'm aware of this.
But if there was a reason that this ship, and not the ship, that Mars, at this point, Entitina's protection has extended to a point where I can feel the trills and the end of it extending further than I would have expected on the planet. And it is simply because right now Entitina is a shield. But if Entitina feels like Entitina needs to become a sword, that's what's going to happen.
Okay, I'm not freaking out. I'm good. I'm not freaking out.
Uh-huh.
Insincula's freaking out.
That's what freaking out sounds like.
And
Just
Sincula,
FYI.
there was no record of any of this type of behavior on the ship itself, was there?
I mean, not to my knowledge. And if there was, then no one really reported it. Maybe, but again, none of the crew knew that this was happening. If Intentina did act out in any aggressive way, they could have just put it as a some kind of abnormality in the sensors, or again, the crew did not know what was happening.
Exactly.
We're at least aware of the situation. I mean, how much could have been happening in salvage for the past month that we just brushed off as a possible accident that could have been caused by Entitina? I gotta go back in my records. Now I'm like looking back at all the incident reports.
I think this is not a learned trait. This seems innate. This seems like something this entity does protectively by nature.
I'm all for protecting. That's great. If it wants to protect, that's fantastic. I just don't want to turn... I just don't want it to think that something that is not malice is something it needs to be protected by.
I agree. And to that
Words
end,
are not coming out.
and to that end, if the entity has a desire to be a shield, I think it would be best for us to figure out why. What is it being threatened by, and what does it feel that it is protecting us from? I would request an extensive scan of the station and the surrounding area. If we can find what has triggered this reaction, we may be able to predict what makes this entity feel the need to be a sword, or what makes it feel it needs to be a shield.
I'm on it.
If we could at least predict its instincts, that may further along our course in understanding it.
And if we can figure out what type of things Entitina feels compelled to protect, that could inform us where they're from, what they typically protect. Where's home?
Unfortunately, I do believe this will require more staff. He's gonna hit the comm badge.
It's time to get the band back together.
Lieutenant Cass, you are needed in the quarantine area. And if you could be so kind... If you could be so kind as to collect Dr. Rayon, I believe we may have some need of his insight as well.
What time of the day-night cycle is it currently?
It's the middle of your sleep time.
Yes. You got boss. See you soon. Okay. Like looking at the clock and like double checking that it is the time. Okay. Whew, okay. And we'll chirp off and go.
I'd like to imagine like half of that came over the
Okay. Tova Kaz is a morning person, but only because she gets full 8 hours. And so middle of the night is like, okay, all right. And she'll kind of like scramble to get into her jumpsuit, and she will go find Rayon.
Okay, Rian. You get a chirp. Is that how you? Actually, I don't want to over-narrate this.
Yeah, you probably get a chirp.
Okay, a chirp.
Yeah. No response.
hey buddy, apparently stuff is happening, and so if you're working and your combat is on the other side of the room, we're all supposed to be down in salvage, because I think stuff's happening with the entity. So I'm gonna go down there, and I'm gonna go knock on your door to make sure you're awake. I don't know how heavy you sleep. I've not had to do this before. This sounds, strange. So I'll see you soon. Once again, stuff's happening with the entity. I hope your comm badge is on the other side of the room. See you soon.
Longest
Sure.
comm badge message ever.
Literally,
It's the
literally.
best.
Well, it's just talking, hoping that like you can hear that it's still in the room, maybe, and yeah, yeah.
Rian?
Yeah, no reply.
No, of course not. Just hoping that the comm badge is nearby.
I think by the time you get to his quarters, they're still closed and there's no.
His
activity.
comm badge was on Do Not Disturb.
I swear y'all wait until I'm taking a drink of water. Every time I'm about to take a drink of water, y'all about to make me spit all over my mic. Okay.
Computer. Where's Rian?
Rian is in his quarters. Is that not true?
Nope, that's true. He's in his
Okay.
quarters.
Okay.
Get a door chime.
Yeah,
Door
there's
chirp
no-
this time? Okay.
Yeah, no immediate response.
I think Tova, I mean, despite the fact, I don't think these two are like super duper close, but they've worked together a bunch before, but I think she recognizes that there is a thing that she does that Rihanna also does, which is tunnel vision. And so she gives it like a minute just to see.
Yeah, no, door
No.
doesn't open.
Okay, then she goes to salvage.
This is why Baloo sent somebody else.
Wait, okay, hold on. Actually, unfortunately, I have a value that says I can't give up. So
This is why that's someone else's Tova.
well,
Best value ever in this scenario.
it's the full thing is I can't give up till it's over, and even then. But just currently, it's just I think there's a physical knock, like she physically knocks on the door, just like a do 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 do. Rian, it's the middle of the night.
Rion!
Now, see, I was imagining like John Cena horns, like never gonna have like that.
So yeah, so I mean, you can cut back to salvage, but she's just like a hello, like.
That
yeah.
knock reverberating through the metal door.
Well, so you can cut back to salvage. This is just happening.
All right, we will. This is going to take some time.
I love that the B plot is just winking.
Hey, buddy, you gotta
40
wake
minutes
up.
later.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Waking up
there's
inside.
no answer to the
yeah,
door.
I know. I love it. She was given she was given a job.
Yep. And by gosh, she's going to do it.
She's gonna try.
Okay, so cutting back to salvage, though.
Excellent.
So yes, the four of you plus the two commanders, Keith and Gina Roberts, are still discussing possibilities and options. And actually, at this moment, Ty, you get an alert. Just a general chirp.
All right. I respond to General Chirp.
Ty, Lieutenant Cecile, Shoshana here. Sorry, I haven't been sleeping very well, but tonight I decided to just stay up a little bit later and work on that problem you gave me, which was like figuring out how the entity perceives. And I think I have an answer.
Oh, that's brilliant.
It
Would you
sounds
be
like you're
willing to
wide
come out to salvage?
awake. Yes.
I'm
Oh, okay.
You didn't know that I. Yes, please join us in salvage.
Yes. Okay. I'll be there shortly.
Lovely.
All right. So Shoshana is on her way. And
Talking to our salvage friends, it would be ideal to be able to interface a little more directly in ways that would not result in what happened to Lieutenant Kaz? Is there any way we can at least temporarily build some superstructure by which V could, for instance, visit a little more closely or otherwise interact?
I believe that a structure would like be totally good, but like the hard part is that we have to make the structure not feel like a prison. Get me every pillow on the station.
If I may, I have a suggestion. I require more insight, and I believe that you could assist me with this, V. He's gonna walk up to you. If I may.
Uh-huh. Consent granted. I've never done this before. This is so... Okay.
I need you to remain calm. It is going, and I would like to do a mind meld.
Okay. First time in this campaign.
Oh.
All right.
V has never done a mind meld before, and these are the experiences that she came to Starfleet for. So she's tried. She's like, yeah, no, mind meld. Yep, nope. For the good of the ship.
Oh, you never forget your first meld.
Okay. So to read the text of this, you have undergone training in telepathic techniques that allow the melding of minds through physical contact. This will always require a task with a difficulty of at least 1, which can be opposed by an unwilling participant. If successful, you link minds with a participant sharing thoughts and memories. Momentum may be spent to gain more information or perform deeper telepathic exchanges. This link goes both ways, and it is a tiring and potentially hazardous process for you. Complications can result in pain, disorientation, or lingering emotional or behavior difficulties. Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to make this difficulty 2.
Okay.
It has to be at least 1. V is willing, but Entitina is just along for the ride. So we're going to say Entitina's not quite willing per se. So difficulty 2. And
it's like I'm doing a nerve pinch. No, I'm kidding.
looking at your stats, let's see. I believe when I played a Vulcan, I think we did this as like a reason. Did we, Eric, do you remember, did we do it as reason science or reason something else? I think it was reason science.
I'm the only other thing I could think to invoke is insight. But
Was there a feat that let you use science instead of another thing? Because that might
I might have been a feat that let you use another thing. Well,
Yeah,
so
I
you
think
had a
That's
feat.
for nerve pinch.
I was gonna say you had
Yeah,
a feat for not to
Oh,
use nerve
yeah.
pinch.
Yeah.
I believe it's insight.
Insight science.
Well, I guess it's up to the GM, and I'd have to double check here with the core book. But my initial instinct is an insight command roll.
I was gonna say I could see that.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Well,
no
because-
my
stats
only
specified.
Thought, yeah, my only thought is that Vulcans, I think.
I mean, if it's reason command, I'm down to clown.
Well, we can
Everybody's
say
gonna
that.
catch a meld.
Everybody's gonna catch a meld.
You get a mailed. You get a mailed. You
know
get a
what? Yeah,
mailed.
we can say that for Veluth. Yes.
Um,
Reason command would be your. I'm gonna write that down for the future.
Everybody in the
That's
club
how you do
getting
your
melded.
mind meld.
Everybody in the club getting melted. All right, let me
Apologize
roll
for greatness.
I adore you.
Okay, so the first one is a 7, which is a success.
Okay. Need one
And
more.
the second one is a 3, which is under my command, which is 4.
Okay. Any of your focuses apply here?
Yeah, let's go ahead and do improvisation. If you don't like that one, I got some other ones.
Okay, give me some other ones.
Observation.
Maybe.
I'm going for
Another
insight.
one.
Ah, you want some more? We got some more.
This stretching of the rules, I like it. Bring me another.
I got your focuses right here. Yeah.
All I see you
and-
trained at the Bonnie School of RPG.
Bonnie is.
I got some
Yeah.
values too if those come into play. But
Oh my gosh.
Roll
No.
more dice. Or something.
okay.
I would say observation would apply.
Okay, because I was gonna stretch it real hard with emergency medicine.
Yeah, I saw that coming, and no, I think observation is the
Right.
closest you're gonna get
Insight
here.
is about understanding people and feelings. Yeah, so maybe it covers all self-awareness and consciousness of creator's state. I was gonna say presence might be a good one to consider too, but I think insight.
That's
personally,
not
I
a
think
focus of Veluth's, though. You're talking about the
sorry,
role?
I was just
What's this
just
role?
trying to
Looking at
find a
attributes
baseline
disciplines.
for.
Got it. Yeah. That's all right. Yeah, I think
We'll have to hit up
uh,
Modiphius. Give us stats for builds.
I think so.
I like being able to wing it for
my
you.
instinct, and Sam, you can give me your thoughts on this too. But my instinct is that Modiphius deliberately left that vague so that you could pick which ones you thought. Like for example,
For,
if you
like,
were
your
mind melding
character.
using insight, and you wanted to find if you were using the mind meld to explore somebody's experience, like say you were going into Tuvok's experience on the Excelsior, you might use Insight Command to try to tap that area of the brain. You might be able to rationalize that. That gives you maximum flexibility on how you use mind meld.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
Tuvok himself
Modiphius, I
probably
see what
also
you-
did some security melds.
Oh yeah,
Modiphius, I see what you out here doing.
game design.
Custom melds.
Yes, custom build. Oh, okay. All right. With that, we have a difficulty to reason command mind meld roll. Have you rolled yet? You
Yes,
did roll.
that was 3 successes.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, and your focus of observation. Okay. So yeah, you place your hands as you have trained onto Vivi's face, and Vivi relaxing into the mind meld willingly, with your little mental passenger there, and Tatina along as well. Veluth, as you mentally move into Vivi's consciousness, you
Oh my god, it's all off white. No, I'm sorry.
you have the sensation of passing through a veil that is the same iridescent rainbow shimmery color as what you saw when Entatina was activated by danger. So you pass through that veil, and on the other side of it, you are in this vast valley. You see thousands of these bloops. And if you imagine, it's kind of like they are almost...
Hello, my name is Commander.
Do you want me to
Veluth.
describe what they look like before you talk to them?
I am
'Cause there's more
speaking to you
description.
now through the mind of a comrade of mine.
I think maybe we have.
I come in peace, and I only wish to understand your motives and to open up a line of dialogue. If you are able to communicate, I would appreciate hearing
he's in a
from
mind
you.
meld.
Noir, can you hear us?
Can you hear me, Nor?
Nor,
in.
can you hear us?
Your landing gear is down.
Hear any of us? Try to see if anybody's got it.
It's occurring to him. I think it's occurring.
I
I'm
love
going
that.
to-
I love that chat now is like, is Noir
I can't
rude?
hear
And it's like, no, Noir
just
is a
figured it out.
professional. Just can't.
I will fight all of you. Absolutely not.
Yeah, no, we know.
I'm like, how did I get muted again? Okay.
You good? Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool.
Can you hear us now?
Yes.
Okay, before you continue, Noir, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great. I was let me just finish describing what you see.
I'm
in
so
this
sorry.
valley. No, it's okay. It's okay. We said you were like really in the mind meld. So you pass through this iridescent veil, and you see this beautiful grass-covered valley, and there are thousands of these beings. The only way I can describe them is, and this is just a visual description.
Okay.
If you imagine the little feelers we have on our tongues, if you were to zoom in on those microscopically, they're kind of all connected. See, don't get too literal with this description. I'm only describing them
So
as kind
sorry. I didn't mean for that to come out. I thought that was
okay.
an inside thought.
it's kind of like they're all filaments connected at the base. That's what I'm
Okay.
getting at. And they also have that shape. They're kind of like a rounded, like filament shape, tendril almost, soft. amorphous. They don't have limbs. They don't have brains or eyes that you can see, but you can sense that there is a presence in each of them, almost in an individual presence, and then them as a group. And they are in this valley, kind of all moving apart and away from each other, towards you, away from you, all at once. It's kind of like a sea of these beings. You also see Vivi here. Vivi is tall like a giant and glowingly wearing off-white robes, and her hair is all off-white. Yes, I'm leaning into Gandalf here. And she kind of is standing over them, looking lovingly like a mother, like a protector, and they are kind of crowding around her robes at the bottom of them. And you are kind of a bystander. Some of them seem to notice you, but most of them are just kind of focused on Vivi or moving around this space. And that's what you see. And then please tell us again what you say to him.
He's just trying to open up a line of dialogue. He just, I'm not here to cause any, I'm not here for violence. I come in peace. I simply wish to open up a line of dialogue. I would appreciate hearing from you.
Okay. They turn towards you, and Vivi does as well. And Vivi, if I may, you make the gesture for tea time towards Commander Veluth, kind of instructing them, share. He's checking in on you. And with your command, they all turn towards you, Commander Veluth. And through Vivi, they start to speak. And here's what they say with Vivi speaking.
Hello, Commander. Would you like to sit and have the letter T?
It would be my honor to share a drink of tea with you.
Thank you. We appreciate that you are here. We appreciate that you want to know more about how you can help us. We appreciate that you seem to care. We are scared. Everything is scary. But you seem very nice. And V likes you. So you can't be that bad.
V is one of the most honorable and steadfast members of Starfleet that I've ever known. I understand what you see. I understand what you see in V. I need to instruct you now that there is nothing to fear. And unfortunately, your instincts to protect may very well prove to put my team in danger.
But everything is perilous. Life itself is filled with perils, and your crew here have been kind to us, and we are sorry that we have caused you all to be alarmed. We did not mean to alarm you. We only want to prevent you from going through what we have gone through. And we appreciate the way that your crew helps to take care of everyone else in the galaxies and in the universe. And we also need to be protected. We are scared. It is scary. It is coming. And you all might be the only ones who can stop it. But most importantly, we are not fighters. All we do is protect. The one you call Entatina is the one whose job and who has come forward to help protect us. Entatina keeps us safe. Entatina keeps you safe. Entatina is love. And then Vivi puts out a little current, but not in that creepy way.
Well, before we continue, I find it appropriate to ask if the entity would prefer to be referred to as Intentina, or does it have a name of its own choosing that it would like to be acknowledged by?
Entitina enjoys nicknames. Nicknames breed familiarity. Nicknames are things that entities give each other when they care about each other and when they think of each other. Like when you call someone in your language brother or sister or friend, that is the word Entitina means to us. It means friend.
Very well. Okay, Entitina, it will remain. I need to inform you that it is Starfleet's responsibility to ensure the protection of all that fall under the banner of the Federation. If you are afraid, we are more than willing to help. You have nothing to fear. You have nothing to fear from us, and as long as you reside with us, you have nothing to fear from the outside. Whatever is coming, we will do our best to be a shield for you.
We enjoy that we have found a kindred and a family who believes the same as we do, and we are afraid that it will hurt you. And Vivi loves you all very much. She enjoys a thing called book club. We do not understand books. We do not understand your language. We only understand love and friendship and protection. And we only seek to love and share friendship and protection. And then Vivi sends another charge. And a love of off-white.
Well, I can assure you, you will find no shortage of friendship here. But what I must ask is that whatever it is that you are spreading throughout our station, allow us to study it. Allow us to understand you. I understand giving in to the impulse of fear. But there is no need for fear here. You can rest.
This is scary, and we are bad at trust. But we feel you, Commander. And we feel the goodness within you through your very gracious mind meld that allows us to connect with you. We will allow the people that you trust to help us make sure that we can protect you and us in the greatest way that we possibly can. Thank you, Commander, for meeting with us. And thank you for studying us, and with the hopes that at the end of it, we will all be better protected, and we will all be safe.
It has been my pleasure. And before I leave, I would like to give them my memories and feelings of the Federation as kind of a sign of this is what we do. Like, we jump into the danger so you don't have to.
This is the first time we are understanding stories the way that you do. Thank you for sharing this with us. Everything is new and scary and impossible. But now we see the world the way that you see it. It is nice. Thank you.
It is through these encounters with entities that are foreign to us that we become stronger. The things that make us different are the pieces that are missing in ourselves. We can only have a complete picture through unity.
And with that in mind, Entitina reaches out so that Commander Valuth can feel, maybe not high, but can feel some of the connection that Vivi has been receiving in the way which is most appropriate for him. Because Entitina, it turns out, is able to give you that endorphin-y, those connections in the way that best respond to you. For Vivi, it best responds in like a wild, wacky weekend, but that might be a different response in the Commander.
I think if it's all right with everyone involved, that's where the meld will end. And when he comes out of it, there will be tears.
And that is where we will take our break. So stay tuned. We'll be back in about 10 minutes to continue the story of Entitina. Oh. Also, because of the connection issues we're having, we're going to briefly end the stream and come back. We will be back, so stay nearby, twitch.tv/Cryptic Studios, and we'll bring the stream back live very soon. All right.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. My cat feeder started going off. I'm trying to do this like dramatic scene. Oh, you hear in the background is me, my wary voice going, "Come get your food," because I couldn't figure out how to program my automatic cat feeder when I got it. So I left in the first voice. I'm so sorry.
Could y'all hear that? I couldn't hear that.
I didn't hear it at all.
I didn't hear it at all.
We didn't hear it at all.
I didn't hear it.
What are these?
As you enter the cave, the darkness envelops you.
I have dark vision.
They say at level 20 you become a god, but I'm gonna do it by 17.
Teach me.
Oh, sad little DM can't remember her stupid NPC names.
No more inter-party romance.
I don't know what that means. Can I get a slice of that?
I can't hear you.
Just one slice.
Yeah, I'm actually done.
I see a whole pizza right there.
Viola, what do you do?
I don't even complain when you leave your Legos everywhere for me to step on.
Avatar: The Last Airbender isn't an anime.
So you're a sex worker?
I'm an actor.
Why didn't you say you were low on HP? I hope you freeze to death waiting in line for Hall H.
What can I say? It's got drama. It's got intrigue.
Go!
It's got pathos. How could I refuse?
That's what you take from this? I'm sorry.
What the fuck is an owlbear?
My son, the Terran Emperor, has merged with an entity of great power. As a Terran, conquest is a way of life, but he has gone too far. Now, we must join forces with enemies, or face obliteration. I want to bring him back from this, but I'll do what I must to stop him. No matter the cost.
Menzo Baranzan is a prison. I am fortunate to have escaped. It is my hope that someday this place can be cast open, its citizens freed from their captor.
Lorth is a demoness, a destroyer, a plague upon the world, with her loyalist scum following her ways of chaos and ruin into the depths of the abyss itself.
I think the blaspheme are righteous in their cause, and the loyalists are not. If war comes, I will be on the right side of it.
Some fear war will soon envelop Menzo Baranzan. For me, the war has already begun. Welcome, soldier, to the cause of the blaspheme.
This is Defender. We could use more armored units at City Hall, and we have wounded here.
Red Snake, you have incoming contact. Witchcraft, Ironclad, Black Mask. What's your situation?
The undead are numerous and running amok. We're falling back to 4th Station Steelhead.
Go forth, my children, and feed upon the living.
I'm just finishing up my patrol now.
What the?
I was wrong. Things are starting to heat up.
The battle rages onward. Victory will be ours.
Calling all champions. This is a global distress call. Report to the nearest crisis zone and engage the enemy.
Metahumans ejected. Changing targeting lock.
Welcome back, folks, to episode 6 of Clear Skies Perseverance. Thank you for coming back after we had our technical difficulties, but we are back now, better than ever, baby. And as we slip back into this scene, Commander Veluth has just exited the mind meld with Vivi, the director of human design, who has been has this very strong mental connection with Entitina. Now, a couple of things. As a game master above table, I'm going to tell you both. I'm going to do a little house rule here on mind melds, where the mind melder has to give 3 specific memories to the mind meldee. This can happen away from table. It can happen over Discord.
That's cool.
But it has to happen before the next session, preferably.
No one-way trip, baby.
No. And the reason I do that is because even though Danielle gave consent, it's still kind of like an invasion, So I want her to get something out of it. And the mind meldee, if you like, you can share 2 memories if you want to. Because mind melds go both ways. Okay? So y'all can think about that. You don't have to do it now. Don't do it now, actually. I want it to happen later. Now, Commander Veluth, you exit this mind meld, and as you described before break, you have tears on your face, which to everyone in this room is probably quite shocking. And Vivi, you see this as well. What you both experienced was so extraordinary. And finally, you both getting to hear the voice of Entitina and having Entitina speak through you, Vivi, was very powerful for you. All the things Entitina said were Entitina grasping at language for the first time and missing the filter of being just like straight in Vivi's consciousness with Entitina, and was the thing that Entitina needed to grasp at that language fully and to really communicate with you all using your words. Now outside, Vivi, you also feel a stronger connection to Entitina, where you feel like Entitina probably can maybe use a few words here and there. That straight up consciousness connection is not going to be as immediate outside of the mind meld, but you have an improved connection now. So I'm actually going to say the difficulty for making new words and commands is 0. If you want to command Entitina, it still will have some difficulty depending on what you want to do. But if you want to just build a vocab with her, it's difficulty 0. Now, Veluth.
Sorry.
Now, Veluth, interpreting what you experienced as Entitina, Entitina said certain things that stood out to you. Entitina referred to those separate entities that are within Entitina. They spoke of them as separate from Entitina because that's how they experience it. You get the sense this is all one. It is one entity with many different components that work together. They experience the full entity as their home, as their body. It's something we have our bodies and we have our homes, but they're not the same thing. It's hard for humanoids to really grasp what that means, but you two are now the closest humanoids to ever experience what this entity experiences. Having its home be its body and its body be its home. Its community is its body and its body is its community. A couple of other things that the entity said: we are scared, it is scary, it is coming. You both feel that terror pretty acutely now, and that is of concern. And Entitina keeps us safe. Entitina keeps you safe. Entitina is love. You also perceive that, Veluth. There is an undercurrent, though, to that, I will say, because coming through the mouth of Vivi, you hear that, and it is spoken honestly and earnestly. That is what they truly feel and believe, and it is 99% true. But Veluth, you feel something different underlying that. Just from your own personal experience, you know that that type of connectivity, that type of codependence can be dangerous. Even if the intention isn't to bring harm, it can. There is the potential for that. So that's all on your mind as you step back from this mind meld.
it's just an immediate word dump to Ty, trying to make sure that my lead scientist gets all the information I just had while it's fresh. So, from what I'm able to determine, Tina, which it prefers to be referred to as, does not intend harm, but it has created a bond with Vivi that I would say may be somewhat akin to worship, a codependency that could potentially be dangerous. The entity is afraid, and it is a whole made of many different parts that pardon, it's just a lot. It is a whole, and its parts refer to Entitina almost as just a different organism entirely. And he's just going to just keep
Commander,
Yes.
may I talk to you privately?
Of course.
And so Vivi just kind of just kind of gestures to the commander and walks over to the side. Well, that was a hell of a thing. Commander Veluth, I sense that you feel off of your access and maybe a little bit unnerved.
I am, well, the mind meld is quite taxing. I can assure you, I do not feel in the way that you do.
Okay. I just want to double check, but most of all, and most importantly, I know that I'm not technically a part of Starfleet. I am a civilian who works with Starfleet and works in my capability, but do not mistake me. I was raised Starfleet. My parents were Starfleet. I went and saw all of these worlds through Starfleet. So I understand. And I know that everyone thinks that I'm silly and flighty and frivolous. And I totally friggin' am. But I want to I was raised on Earth, and on Earth, people talk about their feelings all the time. It's really irritating. And I know that not every planet or species or people talk the way humans do, but sometimes it has proved to be efficient. It's efficient. Talking through your feelings instead of hiding them, preserving them, not being able to express them is efficient, because that is how people understand what they need to do next. And so, Commander, I feel as though maybe you have had an experience, but I think at this moment the logical thing to do is to speak through that, because that is how we reach a greater understanding.
You've given me a lot to think on. First, I would like to say that while I would never claim to be someone that doesn't make mistakes, I can assure you I would never make the mistake of not seeing that you are Starfleet. Second, while I am not full Vulcan, So I do have the remnants, and I believe the best way to describe it would be the echoes of emotions shared by humans. I have, however, through great work, learned to compartmentalize and to restrain myself in terms of allowing those feelings to lead me astray. I have no need to work through any issues, V. I do appreciate the concern, but my priority at the moment is to make sure that Intentina is safe and that everyone in this station is safe.
Commander, permission to be bold. Oh gosh.
Permission granted.
Commander, Entitina is all emotions. Entitina is ruled by emotion, by the feelings of care and protection. And while I do understand the way that you come to your work, and I respect that implicitly, I think that when it comes to this entity, maybe we all have to tap into a part of ourselves that we're not used to, because that seems to be the level and the wavelength that Entitina is on. I'm just going to go stand over there now.
GM, can I share a memory now that V would have seen?
Yeah, go ahead.
V, you see a very young Veluth playing baseball, and the kid pitching purposely throws it at Veluth to kind of bully, and Veluth instantly gets up and breaks the bat. And when he gets up, he's crying, and that's where the tears came from, because that's the memory you got. And
Commander, if I have permission to continue speaking, thank you for being vulnerable and sharing that with me. Thank you for trusting that I would not allow anyone else to know about this that you wouldn't want to. But if I may be inappropriate for a second, and please don't tell my moms and dads. Oh God. I think that moments like those, where there was a moment you couldn't control how someone else was just malicious to the most innocent of people, makes you understand the most where Entitina comes from.
And that is why we need to teach Entitina control and restraint. Giving into emotion is why we are in the situation in the first place. And there is no need to thank me for the mind meld. It was necessary.
Yes, Commander. And I respect your ideals and idea. I would suggest that we maybe be you know what? No. I do not necessarily think that I think that there are ways that we can exert emotional control that aren't oppressive. Not saying that yours is oppressive. Oh God. I'm just saying that maybe there are ways that we can work with Entitina where it doesn't feel like we're trying to oppress them. I'm just gonna walk over here and be just
Veluth is gonna put a hand on your shoulder and just say, I would not be Starfleet if the thought of hearing ideas that are contrary to my own frightened me.
Thank you, Commander. And VV salutes. Because again, military family.
We'll return to the others and continue our work with Entitina. Thank you very much for the talk, V. This has been enlightening and has given me plenty to think on.
Thank you very much, Commander Veluth, for treating me like I don't just decorate cabins, which is a very important job that I take very seriously. But thank you for treating me like an important part of the day-to-day business on the ship.
V, I need to make very clear to you that you do not need to thank me for things being the way they should be. You are as part of this station as anyone else. Your job is important. You are responsible for creating the habitable environments in which Starfleet will live for many years.
Thank
You
you.
belong here as much as anyone else.
Does that mean that you'll take off all of the different restrictions on my replicator for stuff that I was like,
You're dismissed.
Okay.
Good, because security was
With
about to
that-
get involved with that conversation. If that was about to happen, they'd be like, about that.
A girl likes a vape. All right.
All I'm saying is I have to regulate all of your blogs, especially when you talk about Starfleet having hostages. Red flags, red flags. It's a VV blog.
that-
Oh no, what happened? Part of this
We
messed up.
pop back over to the Hab building outside of Dr. Rion's quarters.
Before we do, from that scene, Keela gets a chirp.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, it's Kaz. The commander gave me a job to go grab Rayon, and right away it was like maybe he was hard to wake him up, hard to. It's been a minute, and and you know him better. Should I be nervous about this?
No, Kaz, Lieutenant, don't worry. Come straight to salvage. I'll make sure that he gets the message.
Oh, okay.
All right. And then so I immediately step to the side and on my comm badge. Keela to Rylam.
Oh, muted.
Oh, muted, Eric.
You hear like a maybe like a beat passes before you hear, "This is Rylam, go ahead."
I'm sorry to wake you.
All right, what's going on? Everything okay?
Well, everything looks okay, but for some reason, Commander Valoof wants us all down in salvage. I mean, it's having to do with this entity that's connected with VV.
Chronometer tells me it's quite late. Has there been an emergency?
Not really an emergency per se, but he does request your presence.
Is there a warp core that needs constructing?
Look, there's no rhyme or reason to it, but I think he really does admire your expertise in certain things and your opinion. As do I.
Well, thank you. I'm on my way.
Look, I didn't give the order. I mean, this isn't coming from me.
I know.
I'll see you soon.
See you soon. And step out of my alcove. Computer lights, and then I'll move over to my replicator and just say nutrient supplement 003 and a little extra caffeine, if you please.
And
Takes
that
just a
gets
small little
replicated.
gelatinous cube and pops it into his mouth, and then he just starts heading out the door.
And on the outside the door, like not like the door opens to the other side of the hall, and there's like Tova leaning against it, kind of like, oh, you did wake up. Are you okay?
My functions seem to be within the parameters of. Why do you ask?
I was heavy sleeper, I suppose.
I do not sleep.
Sure. Ready to go?
Sure. Are you also headed down to salvage?
Yeah, I was told to come get you.
You haven't been here long, have you?
She's like flips open like the tricorder to check the time. No. So I said I asked Keela to make sure you were good, and she said it was all good. So also, you've probably never seen Kaz tired before.
Yeah.
She's like so out of it. Like,
Have you been to the sick bay? As he starts walking.
and she starts following. Yesterday, actually. Yeah. Why do you ask?
Just wondering if maybe the experience with the alien life form has caused a little bit of exhaustion.
Oh no, that's just it's just the middle of the night.
Yes, it is quite late.
Yeah.
I can understand why you're being called down to salvage. Has there been a problem with this bizarre life form that's getting in the way of my work?
I don't know. I was told that there's like an emergency happening or something, or it was there was a. They don't wake me up in the middle of the night ever, so I'm assuming something happened. Can I pull up like salvage logs? Has anything been like logged yet about what's been happening today? Can we like check and see, or is it just like nothing? We're just walking in.
Yeah, I don't think anything would have been logged yet, but you can always message your superiors in salvage.
Yeah,
and see
yeah.
if
I
they
guess.
have
Yeah,
info.
during this, she'll probably just like be like, "Hey, what's up?" Kind of like. Well, she'll message Roberts.
Yeah.
Be like, "Hey, headed your way. What's good?" And we'll if we get things back, we'll fill in.
Yeah, you send that message. Rion, you actually, I'm gonna, if I may, you instinctively also just kind of check your pad.
Okay.
As the way that us humans do, like one person checks their phone and then we all have our phone out and they're checking.
That's valid. Yes.
So you check your pad and you actually have a subspace message from Mother.
His eyes widen. And he slows down for a second and says,
Kaz matches like a step ahead of you. Oh.
just a moment. And he's going to activate it.
Okay. On the screen of your pad, you see your mother, Captain Talan.
I'll activate it.
And the message plays. My dearest son, Rylam, I hope this message finds you well. Much time has passed since we last saw each other, and I believe you may be pleased to find out that your younger sibling, Junil, has requested we visit Mars to attend the Southern Winter Games, since, as you know, Junil is an avid fan of winter sports. I've requested shore leave so that the three of us, your sister, your father, and myself, will be able to visit you before our trip to the Martian South. Unfortunately, your other sibling, Averin, is too far away doing research in the Delta Quadrant to return for a family trip at this time. If you are able to join us, I have also secured a ticket for you to join us in observing the competitions. Please inform me whether you plan to join us, and whether this is an optimal time for us to visit you at Utopia Planitia. Be well. And the message closes.
Rion stares at it for a second and says,
Everything
complicated.
Okay?
Closes the data pad and says, all right, we can keep moving now.
If you say so. Keep heading. Keep
Okay,
heading
yeah,
that way.
you all are.
As we're walking, he's just going to say, do you have family, Kaz?
Yes. Yes.
Do you have family that are very diverse in who they are? And how do I put this? Do you have family where you only get along with one member of that family?
Because of the exhaustion, I think because she is thrown by this question, you see like a dim before she puts like the mask back up. And she says, no, there's not a lot of variety in my I'm the variety. I think.
I'm the variety.
Oh. Well, good for us.
Oh, good for us. It's not bad, it's just
Different.
stressful sometimes.
Yeah.
Distracting. I cannot tell her no.
Family?
Terribly distracting.
Sometimes distraction is good.
Maybe.
Yeah. Is it a good thing or bad? I guess like in the being, was something sent with the intention of being a good thing, or was it like something happened? Not from like, I know your perspective. Clearly, you're not very pleased about it, but
No, in truth, it's most likely I'm having a reaction because of the level of discomfort it gives me, in that I am so focused on this Ross project, which is frustrating me. And I'm using that as an excuse to hide from the fact that I am always nervous around my siblings.
Oh. Why?
I'm adopted, as you might have guessed, and the truth is, my mother is the only one in my family I really connect with. Her being Vulcan makes it easier for me, and that I'm able to speak. I'm sorry, I'm giving you a counseling session here. I didn't expect to.
Hey, it's the way they call it the witching hour.
Oh, right. Yes. No, I suppose you're right. Suffice to say that she is a more cerebral thinker
You're
than
on
the
the
rest
same
of my
wavelength,
family. And although my father is the one that helped me get into spirituality, so I do have a connection with him. But anyway,
Well, in return, to level the playing field, she kind of like laughs. I'm not very close with my siblings either. I have two brothers. They're both like 10 years older than me, 10, 12 years older than me. We're all Trill. We're all Trill and joined, so that's not the
all of you were joined?
Yeah,
That's extremely rare in Trill society, is it not?
it is.
I'm not sure I've ever heard of a documentation of that. That's extraordinary. I'm sorry, this is probably not helping you.
No, it is weird. We're weird, but that's the anyways. Again, I'm the variety. They're all doctors and scientists, and
You're the variety.
I'm
Each
the
of you
variety.
carries lifetimes of people inside of you, but you're the variety.
I'm the variety.
Sounds lovely. The brightest color of a big rainbow, from the sounds of it.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it doesn't always feel that way.
No, it doesn't.
I didn't think I was gonna join. I didn't think I would get picked.
Did you want to join?
You know, I still don't know.
Probably a side effect of having a secondary personality inside of you helping you answer that question.
It's not so much a secondary personality, it's just the culmination of a dozen or so lifetimes.
It's interesting to me because in all of my studies, of which not many of them are in... not to get dark, but most of what I know about other cultures in the Federation are from past experience, and
We
we're
are a
not...
culmination of our experiences.
Exactly, and it's curious to me, of all of the Federation life forms that I have run into, Trill, you all seem to have the most relatable experience in that you have
All of it.
like a micro collective
Yeah.
within you. A consensual micro collective.
Yeah. It's a one at a time. It's a slow snowball. Yeah. Huh. Maybe we can talk lifetime sometime.
He looks a little, he says, the experiences that I remember are experiences that have been torn from species who did not consent. And thankfully, through years of counseling, I don't carry very many of them with me anymore. For example, I could tell you that the Borg actually value Trill as high-value targets for assimilation, considering the wealth of information that was provided to the collective through each life experience. It's not very pleasant.
If it makes you feel any better, I'm still getting used to it too. But,
I did not expect to have a bonding moment with you this evening, Lieutenant.
You know, that's not the first time I've been told that.
You're quite good at this.
I just like making friends.
You seem more awake now, and I think we're about to go encounter your... What are we calling the life form again?
Last I heard Entitina, but I think they were hoping to eventually find a way to ask if it liked that. But the entity is also acceptable if that feels better for you.
Into Tina.
Into Tina, yeah.
Noted.
But hey, I think as we're like stepping up to the door, she kind of like hooks your elbow, like with her hand, just gently. For real, though, I am also getting used to it. The collective. If that's something you'd ever want to chat about.
Maybe. I think I'd rather talk to you about how you've made peace with the voices. And how you've... Forgive me for using this terminology, but I literally cannot think of any other way of saying it. How you have assimilated.
Well, I'll make a deal with you. I'll let you know when I figure it out, if you let me know when you do.
Well, you have the benefit of being Trill. You're going to have a few lifetimes. The life expectancy of an XB is still uncertain. And he presses the button to open the door.
And you're now in salvage.
All right.
All right, so...
I'm going to stride in, and with... And I apologize for Rion. He does stride in, and with all the charm of Sherlock Holmes, he says, I trust that there's some kind of dilithium emergency, or perhaps a warp nacelle that's in need of dire repair, or perhaps you need me to draft a blueprint here.
Oh, it turns out that it's just all hands. You've got two.
Well, our biological expert is displaying their competency. Is there any other reason why I need to be here?
Is that the doctor that I hear?
Yeah, I found him. Sorry it took so long. I mean, not long at all. She looks at Rion having remembered that she bold-faced lied to him. And walks away.
So yeah, this is after the mind meld, just to help line up the timeline.
Ty is by the replicator with some apple juice for our mind meldies. Brains require glucose as they hand it out. They do make sure that the mug for Vivi is off-white. It seems important.
Vivi sniffs it. Oh, when my parents were stationed on Earth, they give this to me all the time. It's good for poops. And then Vivi just drinks it, which is true. Apple juice is good for poops.
I think when Ty hands Veluth the apple juice, for the briefest second, there's like a look of pure disgust at apple juice. He collects himself. Would it not be possible to perhaps acquire grapefruit juice?
Perhaps, but leaving aside its effect on cytochrome P450, which I don't know whether or not it applies to Vulcans, the sugar content is a touch low. Is there some other source of fructose you might prefer?
This will be fine, thank you.
If it's okay, I would like Tova to have been filled in by Roberts while this is kind of happening.
Yep.
And kind of been like the, oh geez, oh, and he cried. Oh my god, okay, this is serious. And while this conversation is happening, are you just like sitting, standing? What are y'all up to right now?
Veluth is standing, and after the apple juice discourse was going to respond to the doctor.
Okay, so as this kind of like swings around, then maybe if you kind of are heading to the doctor, there is a hand kind of comes in from the side with a steaming cup, and Tova just kind of like hands it to you. She doesn't say anything, but she just like holds it out, and it is raspberry hibiscus tea.
Yo.
And she's just like you've got stuff going on, but she just like in your the direction you're walking, just kind of hand out, and then we'll kind of like step back and head back to Roberts and start looking over scans with her.
He's gonna take the glass and nod, and then see that it's you that gave it to him, and kind of just quickly disengage.
Oh yeah, she didn't even try to engage. You were having a moment, and she knows you, and so she ended and left.
Is it okay during this moment, because Vivi has been so connected with Entitina and all of the different entities and worlds and the emotional things that are coming, Vivi / Entitina looks at Tova and says, permission to hug?
Yeah, for sure.
So Vivi gives Tova a hug and says, Entitina's really sorry.
Oh no, it's all good. It's all good, bud.
No, but Entitina's like, they're kind of going through some stuff right now, like figuring out the way that all of this works, and they are of the understanding that they did something that harmed you. And so they want to make sure that you know that they don't know the word for apologize. Wait, what? Hold on. Are you sure? Okay. Permission to cheek kiss?
I think this makes Tova just like laugh, like at the absurdity, and also is wildly endeared. And she goes, "Go for it."
And so Vivi, just a really quick. Okay, not that Vivi is like opposed to cheek kissing a hot chick, but in so much as it's like, hey, like I want to make sure I'm being appropriate and conveying the emotions
the middle of the
that
night,
Entity is having. It is 3 a.m. People don't even know if they like apple juice. It's been a whole thing.
Yeah.
And so Vivi just turns and like does like the slow. It feels like for Earthlings, when you actually like your family and you go to Easter and your aunt is like, it's been so dope to see you. I want to hear about everything that you've been through. And you're like, remember when I told everyone I was gay last year? And your aunt's like, I don't give a shit. So that's how it feels. Sorry for the cussing. But that's how it feels. So Vivi that's the emotion that Entitina is giving of the, like, I am so sorry. I really messed this up. I was trying to protect you, understand that I hurt you. Here's the best that I have. And just like a little non-sexual, just very like
just
auntie,
like
auntie energy.
Casual, like
Auntie entity. Sorry.
Auntie Tina, it's done now. It's done. I don't make the rules.
Auntie Tina.
No going back now.
No, Tova will, I think, just like take both of your hands afterwards and like kind of guessing that maybe they're like, she doesn't really understand the breadth of the connection, but like based on this brief interaction is like hoping that there is like that this is like you can tell them that it's all good. I just got a little scared, but like they didn't scare me. I just was like confused and I didn't know what was happening, but like it wasn't malicious, and I forgive them, and we hope that they're all good too.
And in a change that happens, because previously the way that it has happened when there hasn't been a mind meld is Entitina has been interpreted through Vivi's feelings. Vivi drops her head and then opens up, and you see that light come into her eyes. And she looks over and goes, "We are sorry. We did not mean to harm you. We only want to protect. And then Vivi just like drops to her knees.
I'm gonna spend 2 threats.
Yeah, you are.
To underline what just happened, because I'm gonna say that everyone in the room also notices this. That now this barrier seems to have been broken, and Entitina seems to be able to speak through Vivi.
Protect.
Kaz is gonna try to catch her before she like fully hits the ground and like at least lower, because I was holding her hands. So we'll see this kind of like go down, and we'll try to like not let her hit the ground full force.
Gina.
Okay.
Lieutenant Commander Gina Roberts says, "Okay, that was very creepy. Can we
just talking?
What is the plan here? We've been standing around and talking a lot, and now this entity thing is now talking through our cabin designer.
Do we know?
If I may, Doctor, the reason that I called you is because I believe that this may be a situation that requires the perspective of someone that is not Starfleet.
All right.
And, if I may be so bold, it has bonded with Vivi. I would never ask you to do anything that you are uncomfortable with, but your expertise, your experiences may prove valuable in protecting Vivi from this connection.
Vivi is safe. We will keep Vivi safe.
I understand.
That's kind of my job.
We will keep Vivi safe.
Yeah,
Commander, I don't like this.
I'm going to go ahead and call the CMO right now." And Gina Roberts steps away and hits her communicator.
Commander, I'm sorry. What is it exactly you would like me to do here?
I would like you to do what you've shown a proficiency for. I would like you to observe us and tell us when we're wrong.
I can do that.
Commander Keith also steps towards the two of you having this conversation and says, "I'm sorry, not to interrupt." It's exactly what I'm doing. But also, I just want to say, just as an outside observer, it seems that perhaps the person who is formerly Borg might have some input on how to extract, if that's the route we're going, extract Vivi from the entity or vice versa without harming them either. Is that what you're going for, Commander Faluth?
That is what I was suggesting, although not as gently as you.
Sir?
Yes, Ty.
I admit my experience of multitudes is different than others on this crew, but symbiosis is indeed possible and even desired by some. Extrication is not necessarily the only path here for Vivi, but it certainly is from the ship. If we can perhaps focus on creating some alternate environment for both of them, then it will at least be less disruptive to station operations that we might be able to negotiate with both Vivi and Auntie Tina at their own pace.
Is it a bad time to suggest rejoining the two halves again?
Ty? I believe you're correct.
Sir?
Whatever it is that you require to begin attempting to find a suitable environment for both Vivi and Atitina, we will provide.
Fortunate we have the cabin designer at hand.
While this is going on, I'm stepping closer to Dr. Rion and just being like, whatever they are requesting of you or asking you to do, you know, if you're not comfortable with, you can say no.
He leans in and says, "The problem is, no one knows what they're actually asking me to do. I'm just going to let this play out." Thank you.
So, I believe the plan is for Lieutenant Tai to attempt to find an environment that is suitable for both Altitina and Vivi. Doctor, Dr. Rion, if you would be so kind as to observe Vivi, and if in some way, if there is any insight that you might be able to provide, please give it directly to Ty.
He nods and strides up to Ty. Says everything, and he's just going to say this as you're still giving direction. He just leans in and quietly says to Ty, everything you suggested is correct, and having me involved in any way and trying to separate these two would be morally reprehensible, considering the techniques that would be required and that I am familiar with.
Agreed.
Keela?
I hear that and just kind of nod in approval.
And then
From
he just
a
nods
distance.
and it says, "Yes, sir."
Keela,
And complete.
if you would be so kind as to keep an eye on the sensors and make sure that there are no changes to the environment here, and run a medical scan on VV. Well, no, that wouldn't be security. Just make sure.
Oh, I'm just
that the
keeping an eye. Don't you
make
worry.
sure that the station is safe.
I'm not leaving until we figure out.
Vivi goes, beep, beep, beep. Scanners, 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 scanners go beep, beep, beep. You take a scanner, you scan the girl. My head is hot. You take a scanner, you scan the girl gets scanned. But we're safe. You're all safe. We're all going to be safe. I'm hot.
Tova does a back of the fingers to the forehead to Vivi, very gently.
At this moment, first, Shoshana wheels in to the salvage. And moments after, the CMO also walks in to salvage, Dr. Urzanur, the half-Saurian. First, Shoshana makes a beeline towards Lieutenant Ty, holding out a pad and saying, I think I've found some really interesting things about... oh, wow. This seems really intense in here. Here. And she hands you her pad with research that she has spent the past 4 hours into the wee hours of the night putting together this report for you. And here's what basically it says. Here's the rundown. So Shoshana has found that the base molecule, which you had already separated out, Ty, that base molecule that makes up Entatina is similar in structure to a buckyball. So it is round, it has many components that make up this molecule, and it is silicone-based. That's where the similarities to a buckyball ends and where it becomes something new and very different and alien. When this structure, the molecule, assembles into its next larger structure, it starts to form filaments or threads, almost like hairs projecting out from a shared surface or baseline. These seem to be what can sense danger because they seem to move on their own and have individualistic capabilities, and then they communicate to each other when they get that sensory perception to activate. Then, once it senses something, it can move and stretch itself larger by pushing energy through itself and stretching to incredible lengths. That's what she has figured out from doing different modeling. She's taken all the scans you've previously done, put them together, and extrapolated, this is how the structure works. She also says, as you're reading it, she says, so I'm still not sure if it's sentient per se, but it definitely behaves not unlike a lot of plants and even fungi. So there's definitely some intelligent design here.
Oh, I should say so. I think we have accumulated some excellent evidence for sapience in your
Really?
absence. But this is... I'm pretty sure this is brilliant work. Ty is swaying. This is a sleepy king. So it's one of those, you read that line over. If you ever try to read something dense way past your bedtime, that one line over and over and over.
Yep. Well, Shoshana says, Well, it seems like, and she says this to everyone in the room, actually, it seems like we've actually discovered a new life form then. Congratulations, everyone. This is amazing.
Keela goes in the corner. Whoop-de-doo.
And Lieutenant Commander Gina Roberts says, I would be more excited if we could just get this thing out of the cabin designer. I'm the director of cabin design.
From like Kaz's check, is Vivi sporting a temperature?
Oh, that's right. The CMO did also walk in moments later,
cool.
and she makes a beeline toward Vivi.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see. I will make sure Vivi is got actual medical care.
Yeah, thank you. Yes. So yeah, I will do a quick medical scan for her. Okay, quick tricorder scan on Vivi. As she's doing this, Dr. Noor actually kind of like guides Vivi over to a seat and kind of sits you down, Vivi. And she says, yes, you should rest because you are absolutely running a temperature. And she taps some buttons. She says, I'm actually going to switch over to a neuroscan because, let's see. And she kind of mutters, half to herself, half to the room, and does another tricorder scan. Oh, wow. Okay. She looks to you, Ensign Keel, and she says, just keep her cool. Give her some more of whatever this is you're giving her to drink. I will be right back. And she walks over to the rest of the group and kind of huddles you all. And she says, whatever is happening in her brain, she can't withstand much more of this. This thing is taking up more and more of her brain space. And I'm not sure Vivi can maintain her own self much longer. This thing is going to, for lack of a better word, it's going to burn out her brain. What?
You're muted, Bonnie.
Oh yeah, Bonnie.
Bonnie, you're muted.
I was saying, even though I'm left with Vivi and she walked away, I hear everything because hearing's kind of my thing.
You have big ears.
I have good hearing. So, but I act like I don't because I don't want to give that away to Vivi because I'm right there.
What are they? What are they talking about, Keela?
Absolutely nothing important. Just going over some normal security protocols, and I'm just putting like cool cloths and.
Why I'm hot.
I know. It's so warm in here. Really, we got to be doing something about this. I'm gonna put this in my report tomorrow.
I'm so hot. I'm so. And then,
is there a way
with your permission, Ms. Game Master, because of Vivi's high temperature and distress, is it possible that Entitina starts kind of having a freak out?
You know, I have something for that.
Yeah, you do.
Is it called threat? Because
Dad! We love it.
I don't. I don't love any of this.
I will also narrate because, again, I've previously established that there is some type of like, weirdly, my brain is like a ticker tape, but it's like a digital kind of, like Slack for UP, right? We're just there are like station updates that you all kind of see. There's a main channel, and there are offshoots and stuff. So in that regular update, you've been getting updates on what's happening in orbit with the rest of Entitina. Entitina has been slowly retracting back where they came from, which was inside the ship, and has been shrinking this whole time. It seems to correlate with the times that Vivi has been able to just comet, the mind meld, all of those things have helped Entitina just shrink back and settle, which is what the command was. But yes, as the heat literally gets turned up, as Vivi's brain is getting overloaded by Entitina, taking up more and more space, neurological space, you're getting reports now that Entitina is growing again out in orbit at a rapid pace.
From our little like huddle up, I think Tova just goes, I have an idea.
All right.
I'm gonna try to talk to them. They felt bad for scaring me. Maybe I can try to talk them down a little bit.
I mean, they owe you.
Oh, we'll find out. And
Might be worth mentioning they're scaring somebody else now.
that's what I hope.
Dr. Noor says, if you can tell them to somehow just stop, separate, leave, that's what is best for Vivi right now.
I'll see what I can do. And Kaz will kind of like hop, skip, and a jump over there, and kind of will end up kneeling down in front of Vivi, and will kind of reach out and like very gently like grab her hand again, like, "Hey, Vivi, hi, how you doing?"
Hi.
Hi.
I'm hot.
I know. We're gonna try to help, okay? Entitina? I know that you want to protect Vivi, and you're doing a very, very just excellent energy, excellent, good emphasis, good job. Unfortunately, I think you might be hurting her. And I know you were worried about hurting me earlier, and you didn't actually, but, right now I think you might be hurting her. And I know you don't want to do that, and
Vivi understands the importance of protecting the people.
But do you
What?
understand the importance of protecting Vivi? Wasn't that
Vivi
your goal?
has chosen this.
Has she?
Vivi has decided to protect the people.
Will you let us help her help the people?
Can we hear that from Vivi?
Because
I protect the people.
Because if you keep holding on like this, there might not be a Vivi left to protect you. For you to protect.
Vivi is a hero. Vivi is here to protect the people. Right, Vivi? Huh. I am here to protect the people. I protect the people, and I protect everyone on Utopia. And Vivi just like growls.
Oh.
I'll pull like a bin, like if there's like a bin nearby, we'll try to like.
Nope, definitely landed on me. It's fine.
Tova, I want you to do a roll now, Tova.
Oh God.
With Danielle's permission, I'd like Tova to do an insight roll
Heck
to
yeah.
see
I was gonna
if
ask.
she can parse out what is Vivi being coerced? Like, what is going on?
Can I assist in this since I'm the person that's there when it comes to like linguistics and communication?
This is more so
insight.
Yes, you can, but I don't think it's a linguistics thing. I think it's more so your personal connection with Vivi that can help you
Infiltration?
assist. It's literally just
Someone's been infiltrated. Okay.
The time you've spent with her over these past 6 to probably 12 hours.
It's felt like a lifetime. I say that the nicest way.
So
I know
truest way.
Yeah.
Honesty is
So for Tova, insight. Insight command.
Oh boy.
Because I'm also like on high alert in my mind because this is for me a security breach in my
Keela,
brain.
this is insight. I know you're saying it's security.
I understand.
But I don't think that applies here.
I understand.
Part of me wants to give you that though, because it kind of does with what's happening in orbit. All right, fine. Insight security.
All right, fine. That's the best you
Twist
ever
my
gonna get
arm.
from a game master, baby. Is
Insight security for Keela to assist, and then Tova. The difficulty is, don't roll yet because you might want to buy dice.
I'm waiting.
Difficulty is going to be 3.
Well, I got one success.
Okay.
I only rolled one die though because I'm assisting.
I believe this is all the same scene, so you should have the same amount of.
Yeah.
You haven't lost any.
I was gonna ask if I could have a momentum, spend a momentum to get an extra die.
Yes, I would say
Get
yes.
the die.
I
Die
would-
so they don't die.
I would also like to use my talent joined. You will have a symbiont with lifetimes of memories to draw upon. Once permission, you may declare that a former host has expertise in a relevant skill or field of study. You gain a single focus for the remainder of the scene as you draw upon those memories. Additionally, you gain a trait with the name of the symbiont. This reflects potential advantages of the joining, the ability to perform all whatever. Anyways, yeah. And then talks about stuff I can't do. Like
Great.
that I can't have this and another thing at the same time. So
What is the name of the focus?
let's do is like insight's the name of an attribute. Is there some sort of like I don't remember any social like a social type of role I can't think of it.
Intuition?
Like intuition, or you're good at reading people, right? Is that the idea kind of?
That's the thought of like pulling from this, like someone in the past worked with other people, maybe.
Right.
I
Maybe they
used
were a
sense
psychologist
motive
or
back
something.
in the day.
Sense motive, yeah, something like that.
Sense motive.
Or just like drawing on the fact that she has had, like I said earlier, a dozen lifetimes of interacting with other people to draw upon in general.
Okay.
So yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Sense motive, I'll go with that. I like that as a focus. And then you said insight command?
Command.
Oh, then I don't know if that does anything because my command is 1. So then that's another focus. I don't think that does anything for the crit, does it?
Yeah.
I believe decorative.
It's decorative. Well, it's okay. Yeah, as a for vibes, she's pulling on. She's
we have momentum, right? Do we have any momentum?
Yeah, I'm buying a die.
Oh, okay.
You have determination.
I do have.
I was about to say, can I burn a determination?
We
Or no?
wait.
Can I
we
burn
have,
Something from chat?
we have some momentum
Not on the
from chat.
assist one.
Okay.
But yeah, you could pull your determination.
I am gonna pull my determination, and specifically based on the conversation we had earlier, hosting is the family tradition. She's gonna pull on the fact that she has these lifetimes of people, and all of the people they have ever spoken to, or met, or had to read or understand. I would like to use that. I would like to use that value.
Okay. All right. Go for it. Make your roll.
Okay, this is gonna be real rough, you guys.
I believe in you.
I almost want to buy another die.
You have an auto crit.
I do not.
You can buy. You can buy. It's important.
Can I buy another? I'm gonna buy a second one.
Fevers melt your brain real bad.
Fever's ring. I know this is so bad. Okay. All right. Yeah. Buying 2 dice. I'm gonna roll.
And you got
four.
you got a success from me already.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, So I'm just, you guys. I'm rolling under 9. Is what's happening right now.
It's okay.
I believe in
I
you.
got this. You got this.
We have an auto crit.
Oh, that's a big face. That's a big face.
That's a
big
good
face.
face. Come on.
I like the face.
Oh, that
And
one.
join us next week to find
Yeah, this is it. Yeah. No. Sorry, that one was not what I thought it was. But I got a 9 and a 3. So that's
Okay.
2 with my
And then
auto
one for
crit
me.
and my help.
And you spent determination.
And you spent for the crit.
4.
So
Yeah.
5.
You got 5 successes.
Yeah.
5 successes. All right. Bank that momentum.
Okay.
And Vivi, now is where you tell us what part is actual. What is is Vivi? What does Vivi need right now? That's what we want to know.
So Entitina has seen that there has been Entitina has seen that there has been someone who is trying to make sure that Vivi is okay. And I'm hot. I'm hot. What's happening? What's happening?
Nobody.
What is happening is that you are now going to make sure that no one is ever hurt again. I can't.
Are we hearing this, or is this in Vivi's head?
Is it out loud, Vivi?
This is out loud. This
Okay.
is the This is one of those ones where it's literally like, why is people talk? I'll do the thing. Okay, hold on. I got it. I don't understand what's happening. What is happening is that you are making sure that everyone in the universe is taken care of. You are love. You are made of love. Off-white is love. You are love. Don't you want to make sure everyone in the universe is taken care of? Of course. But I'm hot. I don't understand, and all of my friends, they're scared. You are a paragon of duty, and it is okay for you to pass on to protect the people. You understand that.
Lieutenant Commander pushes you forward, Kaz, and says, "This is not no. Say something. Say something."
Hey.
Vivi needs you. Say something.
Caleb, were you trying to say something?
Oh, I was just gonna say, Tintina, that is not Vivi's job. What you are doing is hurting her. My job is to protect this station and its people. And right now, my job is to protect Vivi.
Is Vivi's job for you to belittle and disrespect her? Is Vivi's job for you to make fun of how much she loves a specific color? What is Vivi's job? Because Vivi's job is making sure that everyone who should survive does. Vivi is a gift. Vivi is allowing us to go through and handle everything.
Tova,
so that she can be
hugs
okay.
Vivi. Tova leans in and full body, like just hugging someone who is like broad in stature and has done physical labor her whole life. She gives very good hugs. The tightest, most reassuring, drawing back to the beginning of all of this, and she says, hug. Just as tight as she can is holding Vivi.
But
and says,
I don't
hug.
And it doesn't. I design things, and you all change the future.
Hug,
So
she
if
says louder in your ear. Hug.
If I can just make this one society make
Hug.
sense,
Hug.
then it's okay. It's okay that I'm flighty. It's okay that I'm silly, because everyone will be safe. Everyone will be safe.
There is nothing here to keep us safe from, Vivi. We are all okay. If you do not survive this, then you are not safe. Then Tintina is not safe.
It's okay. I don't need to be safe. Tintina has told me I will be.
Vivi. Tintina is a different life form. It does not live like we do.
Vivi will be taken care of. You are distracting and keeping Vivi from her purpose.
Vivi is currently being hugged by both Trill, just FYI.
If I may, I think while this is going on, Valuth is gonna walk over to Ty, and just go, I believe that I owe you an apology. I think that you gave us the solution to this problem 15 minutes ago. Do you have any way to receive whatever energy that this Tintina is giving off? We only need a receptacle that would last for a moment.
From the group hug that is slowly coalescing, they kind of tilt their head back for it and say, whatever Vivi needs. Yes.
Tintina, Vivi, I agree with everything that you're saying. However, part of Vivi's responsibility are attendance at book club. I am certain that you do enjoy book club as well. Vivi would not be able to enjoy it thoroughly if you were the one occupying her body. If we were by chance able to give you a receptacle so that you might experience the book club yourself, would you enjoy joining us?
Would my people be safe?
Of course. In fact, part of book club is giving those without power the ability to know what it's like to protect others. If you would like to experience what it is to be someone like Vivi without endangering Vivi, then I can think of no better solution than the book club.
Book club is fun.
I would very much like to have fun with you.
We have been scared. We don't have fun. We've learned words. Book club is words.
Book club is words, fun.
We learn more words. Friends teach us words.
This will require you leaving Vivi.
We can do that with the help of your scientists.
Yes, there is no one more capable for this task than my friend Ty.
Ty.
Yes.
Are you able to make sure that when the bad things happen, you will all make sure that I can keep you safe while also teaching me? We do not understand your language, but we would like to learn. And from what we're feeling from Vivi, one of the great ways to learn is from book club. Books. Is that... I'm learning new words. Oh, that's a... I don't think that's a good one. Is that... We will disengage from Vivi in a way that harms her, while we make sure that we communicate with you how to protect us and you.
As long as no harm comes to Vivi, whatever it is that you need from us, we will be able to comply.
We need help.
We'll be more than happy to give it to you.
Dr. Noor says, how soon can we make this receptacle? Because I'd like my patient to be vacated.
Is there a way to induce Vivi into some kind of sleep and to cool her off in some way, just to make sure that she's not physically harmed?
Yes, of course. I'll need to get her over to the med bay.
Well, I have an idea first. And she kind of like turns back to Vivi and Entitina and says, Entitina, the stuff we learned right away, I think might help for now while we make you a new spot. Do you want to try settle for a little while?
Settle.
Just for a little bit.
Settle. You, friend.
I'd like to.
You all. Friends.
Yes.
And slowly, Vivi's temperature starts going down. Friends.
I'll get her arm over my shoulder in case she drops.
Yeah, we've got it.
In orbit, and also within the force field behind you in this room, you see Entitina start to shrink back.
Friends.
And in the force field, you see Entitina kind of pool onto the floor and shrink back, and then become just a pile of sparkly dust.
It is as you said, Ty. Simply needed a change of environment.
Do we
And
get Vivi
Doctor.
back at all?
The reason for your presence here is because you are a reminder to me that there is brilliance outside of the way that Starfleet does things. I would not have thought of this solution had you not been here.
Thank you, Commander. I'm trying to see this in a positive light as well. I managed for the past 10 minutes to restrain myself from suggesting that we kill the thing and save our crew member. I'd already been devising a way to use the transporter to separate the two. It would have only caused minor psychological damage that could have been easily repaired over the course of the next 6 months.
And Kayla, you always remind me to listen. Thank you. Now, I'll let the medical officers do what it is that they are able. I will prepare for book club. And I'll be in my office.
Before the scene ends, is Vivi look like coming back to us a little bit? Is she conscious and everything?
In my idea, and obviously, yeah, of course.
I think a little bit.
Eliza, you tell me what you're thinking. My idea.
Here, I'll.
Okay. Yeah, no, go. I want to hear it.
Well, I was just gonna say, as the Entitina in the room finally retreated and turned into sparkly dust, it is now inactive, and so that bond, that connection, is very thin with Vivi. So Vivi is able to come back and be present, still recovering physically from that strain, but yes, Vivi is back.
So with the arm over each trill currently, as you kind of rouse, Kaz is kind of like, hey, there she is. Permission to scritch? She kind of like holds a hand over the top of your head.
Permission granted.
She kind of gives you like a noogie.
And like a full on like arm in the crotch.
No. Your arms are over us. She just kind of like hand on top of the head, kind of like just like a very gentle like ruffle.
Okay, but could she?
Maybe when you're feeling a little better, bud. How about that? And we'll start walking to sick bay.
Before everyone else departs, though, Rylam is going to just look over at Ty and give them just a look of like, I wouldn't have really done that. Just like an assurance of look of like, I know better. And he just kind of just...
While all this is happening, I'm also gonna make my way over to Rion and be like, go back to your regeneration chamber. I don't think there's much you can do here now. And
never was.
I know.
And he turns.
I know.
And
it looks like we're gonna have book club tomorrow, so.
He looks down. He looks down at his data pad as you're saying this to him, and he says, "Mother's coming."
Yeah.
And he's going to click, like he just presses the button to respond, and he is going to leave the room.
Okay. And with that, we will end our session.
I am so sorry. Mother's coming. Don't do this to me.
Thank you all so much for a very tense and thrilling episode of Clear Skies Perseverance. And special shout out to Danielle Radford.
You tanked that one.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
It was tanked by.
Improv at its finest. Characterization at its finest. Thank you so much, Danielle.
Thank you. I love you all so much.
Yeah, and thank you.
And then we get to do more book club stuff.
Yeah, we have another book club on the books now.
Yeah.
I was not sure. And I was not sure, and did not know when Eliza was going to drop that bomb.
Oh, that's a good bomb, baby.
Eliza was like, when do you want to do that? I'm like, she's your character. You tell me. So that was great.
Yeah, we have some things to look forward to. Some visitors, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe a trip down south. Yeah.
So much good. So many good little tidbits. I'm so excited.
All right. With that, thank you all so much. We will see you back here next week for episode 7 of Clear Skies Perseverance. And until then, be safe and settle.
Stick the landing.
Settle.